Come September, more than 130 nurses from Cuba will be temporarily placed in Jamaica's health sector. Now, this is in response to the continuing migration of Jamaica's nurses. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton made the announcement at a press briefing on Tuesday. TVJ's Herman Green reports.
Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton announced that an additional 130 nurses will be joining the workforce within the next month. He says the nurses were identified through a recruitment program in partnership with the Cuban government. The Nurses Association of Jamaica, NAJ, earlier this year said its members were struggling to keep up with the workload as more than 60% of accident and emergency care nurses have migrated. The NAJ added that drastic measures would have to be considered to address the looming crisis with the shortage of personnel. But speaking yesterday, Dr. Christopher Tufton said what was needed was a greater level of partnership to fill the gaps in the country's medical services.
If you have a global demand that is pulling people out of the system, 550 last year, and you have a demand for health services in the public space that the entire country depends on, you either bring some in or your services are going to be totally deprived of the services of those persons.
Questions were also raised about the remuneration of nurses coming into the country compared to that of local nurses.
Sometimes there's a misunderstanding around whether the nurse benefits more than a nurse here in Jamaica. There's no doubt that there's a cost, and very understandably so, to recruiting and relocating someone from their country.
He says the ministry's recruitment to address the demand for nurses in Jamaica is not confined to Cuba. The government has already started partnerships with China and the United Kingdom to train nurses and is now in consultations with Nigeria. Dr. Tufton added that the government is making efforts to retain more of the nation's nurses by addressing some of the challenges they face.
There are other things around nurse retention, like housing, that I will speak to more over the next month, but we are developing a program to improve housing accommodation for nurses. Our nurses are the most consistent personnel in a hospital, and they tend to work longer hours than most, including late hours. And sometimes when they have to move around, the whole issue of personal security is a big issue.
He added that other programs to train more nurses will be explored in order to reduce the effects of brain drain if some nurses opt for migration. Herman Green, TVJ News.
Still to come this evening, residents served by dilapidated bridge in St. Mary demands immediate fix. And in business news, TVJ announces yet another overseas offering.